There are two theories about dreams.
The Grim Reaper said.
One is Freudian's theory of dreams that consist of manifest content and latent content. For example, the dream that you had last night about your friend's house catching on fire. Your friend's house on fire is the manifest content, and Freud would say that the latent content of the dream represents your unconscious desire for your friend to die.
Oh, well, he's not too far from being accurate.
The Grim Reaper did a face palm.
I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that.
He muttered.
The other major theory on dreams is the activation synthesis model. It states that dreams are produced when the mind attempts to make sense of random neural activity that occurs in the brain during sleep.
With hands on my hips and a slight frown, I went on to ask the Grim Reaper.
Do you watch me sleep every night?
Only when I feel like scaring you with sleep paralysis.
The Grim Reaper gave a little chuckle.
And all along I thought I was possessed by a demon.
Chia, I get tired of staying in the graveyard 24/7. Raiding people's dreams is just like you humans raiding the fridge. It's a guilty pleasure, you know. At least I get to see some really interesting cases of sleep disorders, and not just listen to a couple of babbling dead dudes begging me for another chance in life. For sure.
What kind of sleep disorders?
I looked on quizzically. The Grim Reaper with a knowing smile pointed to his head.
Insomnia.
Oh, really? I didn't know Grim Reapers like you had insomnia too. How weird.
Yes, insomnia has taken a toll on my poor soul. This explains why I have so much free time wandering around empty corridors and occupied bedrooms.
Sure enough, when I took a closer look at the Grim Reaper, his features does look rather sunken, probably from lack of sleep. The Grim Reaper added,
But sometimes insomnia is worsened by your worrying about the insomnia. The best way to cure insomnia is to do other things. For me, I go around killing people.
I scowled.
Or scaring little kids like me? Next time, knock on the door before you decide to scare the poop out of me.
Next on the list of sleeping disorders is sleep apnea.
Said the Grim Reaper.
Have you ever noticed why your father snores the way he does, with irregular breathing and sometimes even no breathing at all in between snores?
Oh yeah, he always snores very loud, and there are episodes in which everything is completely silent. It almost sounds as if he never snored at all. Why do you ask?
Well, that's because your father has sleep apnea.
Oh wow, I did not know that. I better go tell him in the morning.
I had always thought that was how regular snoring sounded like, until tonight.
How do you treat it?
You have the option of losing weight, getting surgery, or relying on drug therapies.
Said the Grim Reaper.
Next, we focus on the disorder called narcolepsy. This is when sleep, instead of happening at night, happens during the daytime. We are talking deep daytime sleep. A typical person suffering from narcolepsy can experience the REM stage within 10 minutes. Now that is what I call a sleep attack.
How about night terrors? I think my brother might have that.
I said.
Oh, this is my favorite one. I like to scare little boys in their sleep.
I gave him a nasty look.
Easy, easy, I was just playing around.
The Grim Reaper said, apologetically.
Anyways, night terrors are usually characterized by extreme panic and emotional arousal when the person is awake. Actually, people with night terrors seem like they are awake, but really are not. At this stage, it is impossible to awaken the person fully. There is no treatment for it except to try to disrupt the person's sleep before the onset of a night terror. Finally, we have sleepwalking. Many kids, when they are asleep, have a tendency to get up in the middle of the night and start walking around as if they are living the dream themselves. They don't know that they're sleepwalking. The good thing is that sleepwalkers generally don't get hurt during their sleepwalk. They will somehow manage to find their way back to bed by morning.
Wow, who does that?
I asked with widened eyes. The Grim Reaper with a mischievous grin replied,
Lots of children surprisingly sleepwalk. In fact, you are doing so as we speak.
To my horror, he was right. I tried to utter a small scream, but nothing came out.
Don't worry, you have at least got enough sleep REMing and hanging out with me. Now that you've retained a lot of information for your midterm, I hope you do well. It was fun talking to you. Goodbye.
Wait, what?
I attempted to grab him out of midair, but in that split second, with a swish of his dark hooded cloak, he melted into the air and was gone.
Ring!
The school tower rang 8 a.m., and I woke up with a start. I looked around at the midterm that was passed out to me just a few moments ago when I was still knocked out. I looked at it and was a little surprised.
Oh my gosh, most of my midterm is about sleep. I actually know everything about this topic.
With that thought, the test began, and with pencil and eraser in hand, I scribbled my heart away, and all the while could not help but think that that was indeed a very strange dream I had earlier on.
Da da da.